Live from our studios on Kairaba Avenue, this is the QTV Nightly News and I am Jul Denjai. Thank you for joining us. Here are the main news headlines. Fatou Balde, the U.S. State Department's 2024 International Woman of Courage awardee, and the country director of the Peace Corps, Siri Mole, met President Barrow at the State House in Banjul on Tuesday. Almost 10 months on from its start, the Operation Clear the Routes Task Force on Tuesday revisited the routes around the Senegambia to prevent re-encroachment and remove structures that had encroached. The Non-Communicable Disease Unit of the Ministry of Health and Partners on Tuesday commemorated World No Tobacco Day to raise awareness of the harmful effects of tobacco use. And at the opening of a 4-day stakeholder meeting on Gambia's pledges for the protection of refugees' rights, officials called for proactive action to ensure the full realization of the pledges. In a joint operation, public health officers and security personnel inspected shops in Farafenni to seek any that were violating the display and sales of tobacco products. These and other stories coming ahead in the next half an hour. To stay tuned. Thank you very much for staying with us. If you are just tuning in, this is QTV News. Now, Fatou Balde, the U.S. State Department's 2024 International Woman of Courage awardee, accompanied by the U.S. Ambassador to the Gambia, Tuesday presented her award to President Adama Barrow. Meanwhile, the country director of the Peace Corps, Siri Mole, also met President Adama Barrow at the State House in Banjul. Ansumana Esonyasi was there, and this report is narrated by Momodu Gajaga.
This award was presented to Gambian activist Fatou Balde, a human rights advocate, at the White House in Washington, D.C. for her role in ending FGM in the Gambia. It follows the MBE award to her by the late Queen Elizabeth II, a few months before she passed away. Following a closed-door meeting with President Barrow, she presented the President with her Woman of Courage Award, which was presented to her by U.S. First Lady Jill Biden in March this year. Being the founder of the Women in Liberation and Leadership, WIL, Fatou Balde, who was accompanied by the U.S. Ambassador to the Gambia, Her Excellency Saran L. Kroma, expressed profound gratitude to President Barrow for receiving her. She revealed, among other things, that the Gambian leader expressed pride in her winning this award.
I believe that the recognitions that I have been getting around the globe shows the impact of the work that we are doing on the ground. But most importantly, in the Gambia itself, I believe that the work of WIL now and other women-led organization is very much apparent. People are appreciating it, and I think that alone speaks volumes as well.
Mrs. Balde also revealed that President Barrow acknowledged her work and that of other women's rights advocates in the country and assured her of his administration's continued support. Fatou Balde is a survivor of female genital mutilation, FGM. She was 8 years old when she was subjected to the medically proven harmful traditional practice in the Gambia, an experience which forms part of the motivation for her continuous advocacy against the practice. She thanked the government and National Assembly members for maintaining the law banning FGM.
He congratulated me and said that he was really happy that I was given this award and also that I have taken the Gambia to that level. So I was really pleased by that, and he encouraged me to continue my effort and working hard.
Her visit was followed by that of Siri Mole, the Peace Corps country director, who was at the presidency to inform President Barrow of the resumption of Peace Corps community service programs following the long COVID break, and to update him on the status of the Peace Corps in the Gambia.
It's a new chapter. It's a new moment in the Gambia. There's a lot of potential to grow. And so we were discussing with him some of the plans we have to expand the number of volunteers in the country and to further strengthen the work here. He was very supportive, very receptive. One of the things we gave him was an invitation to our new office opening event on December 10th. We invited him for a ribbon cutting, and he was very enthusiastic and very supportive of Peace Corps' work.
The Peace Corps have been in the Gambia since 1967 with over 2,000 volunteers who over the years have provided various community services, especially in less privileged communities. The most recent batch of Peace Corps volunteers was sworn in the second week of August 2024 at a colorful ceremony at Kiang Masembe in the Lower River region. Mamudu Gajaga, QTV News.
And now, almost 10 months from its start, the Operation Clear the Roads Task Force on Tuesday revisited the roads around the Senegambia area to prevent re-encroachment and to remove structures that had re-encroached. Usman Jatta went with the theme, and this is his report.
These men and women in uniform, comprising the armed forces and the police, are on a mission to enforce the law amid the early morning August rains. Mobile Traffic Police Commissioner Lamin King Kole briefs the team before heading out on patrol. The joint security team then headed to the Senegambia area. After several months of warnings, these corner shop vendors continue to sell behind the perimeter fence of the Africa Center for Democracy and Human Rights. Lamin King Kole, Mobile Traffic Police Commissioner, explains.
Now, the second phase is called enforcement of all the structures that were moved. But today we started it with African Center for Democracy and Human Rights Studies in the Gambia here. When we say African Center, we don't say Gambian Center. This structure belongs to the entire Africa. It is because as a fact that the Gambia is lucky to have this center, and then we are the host. So you have these structures around this center, and they can perform their duty very well because people turn this center to be a commercial area, which they've been complaining. They wrote so many articles to the Office of the National Security Advisor, to the Office of the Inspector General of Police, to the Office of the Lord Mayor, Kanifi Municipal Council. And then which a directive came to us to make sure that we make a start off with this one.
The first phase of the road clearing exercise led to the demolition of several perimeter and temporary structures in public spaces across the Greater Banjul, Kanifing Municipality and the West Coast region. However, the second phase enforced compliance with the law in all areas previously visited and take actions in instances of non-compliance. Commissioner Kole emphasizes that the Gambia is a law-abiding country, thus anyone building structures along the highway where it is prohibited will be charged and taken to court.
We are going to make sure that any structure that we have demolished and move you away and you return back, if you are found there, we are going to arraign you before court. Gambia is a law-abiding country and we are governed by the law, by the Constitution, by the Act, by the legislation. So whosoever is found wanting, we are going to take.
Despite the previous mass demolition of structures, some business operators re-encroach in public spaces. Commissioner Kole sends this final warning.
Today, the 28th of August, we started this enforcing of this operation Clear the Road, and it's going to continue, and we are going to start it. Just this will serve as warning. Those on the road, let them please move from there. Those who were moved and they are back, please let them go. Because anybody that we found wanting, we're going to arraign you to court.
Operation Clear the Roads continue to spark several reactions from the public as some people blame the Department of Physical Planning for not setting out clear boundaries. However, according to the police, among other things, this operation aims to reduce accidents and other traffic-related offences as encroachment in some areas forces the public on the road where they are more likely to be harmed by traffic. Usman Jatta, reporting for QTV News.
And now, the Non-Communicable Disease Unit of the Ministry of Health and Partners on Tuesday commemorated World No Tobacco Day to raise awareness of the harmful effects of tobacco use. Momodu Gajaga again.
World Tobacco Day is commemorated annually on the 15th of May. However, it is deemed appropriate to continuously press home the message. This year, it is commemorated under the theme Protecting Children from Tobacco Industry Interference. youth step in and speak out. Tobacco use is harmful and can lead to death. According to the WHO statistics, tobacco accounts for more than 8 million deaths annually across the globe. Mamadou Nyasi is the Director of Health Services.
How are we as a country affected by this global threat, and what is fueling this threat in this country? The answers are obvious. It is of great concern that nearly 16% of our population aged 15 years and above smoke cigarettes, and a further 8% of our youth aged 12 to 20 years use scissor, which is another deadly form of tobacco now getting out of hand.
Musa Kamara, Director of Health for Western One Region, says almost every household in the Gambia is at the risk of harmful effects of tobacco.
The entire population of the Gambia is at high risk of tobacco effects in the households, in the workplaces, and public places such as markets. Individual, societal, and national development take center stage with increase in productivity and improved per capita income through the absence of diseases.
The World Health Organization representative, Mamadou Gassama, says the tobacco industry is targeting young people by enticing them with several flavors. He added that the tobacco effects on human health far outweigh any income it generates.
Boys and girls, they are all using tobacco. What are we going to see? We are going to see in the next 100 or the next 30 years, we are going to see an epidemic of chronic diseases like hypertension we're talking about, like heart diseases. These are the diseases of tomorrow.
Yankuba Dabo, the Gambia's Commissioner General, was presented with an award for GRA's outstanding work on tobacco taxation. Commissioner Dabo highlights the progress made in curbing both tobacco importation and consumption due to higher taxes introduced.
The pack of cigarette in the Gambia now is very expensive. And this is not by accident, it's deliberate, because cigarette is dangerous to our health. Cigarette is killing, like Dr. Gassama has said. Cigarette is killing us daily. Cigarette is killing us monthly. Cigarette is killing so many people yearly, but yet it becomes an addictive. We are still on it. However, our target was the youths and the young ones, because if they have today $100, instead of buying pack of cigarette, they are thinking of buying food or something else, because the pack of cigarette is very expensive, and that was exactly what we wanted.
Smoking can cause long-term negative effects on the body, including heart disease, cancer, and diabetes. Whether smoked or chewed, tobacco is dangerous to one's health. Tobacco products contain unsafe substances, from acetone and tar to nicotine and carbon monoxide. The inhaled substances can affect your lungs and the other organs in your body. In addition to this commemoration, the authorities have recently stepped up their efforts against those contravening tobacco control laws. Mamadou Gajaga, QTV News.
That report there by Mamadou Gajaga will take us to a commercial break. When we return, we have some more local stories for you. Do stay tuned.
Welcome to the future of transportation in the Gambia. The Bertel-Harding Highway, a 22-kilometer double carriageway, is set to revolutionize travel and connectivity in our beloved country. A 3-lane highway means more space for vehicles, smoother traffic flow, and reduced congestion. Each lane has a specific purpose. The leftmost lane for overtaking and faster vehicles, the middle lane for standard driving, and the rightmost lane for slower and turning vehicles.
Need a quick car service? Espas Motors has got you covered. From quick scans to oil changes and fuel filter replacements, we handle it all within an hour. Take advantage of our exclusive promotion with 35% off labor and 10% off service. Espas Motors is located at Bertel-Harding Highway, opposite Kotu Power Station. Book now. Call 353-4444, 352-2222, 385-6822. Hurry. Offer ends September 7th. Espas Motors.
Welcome back. If you are just tuning in, this is QTV News, and now to the rest of our stories. Now, at the opening of a 4-day stakeholder meeting on Gambia's pledges for the protection of refugees' rights, officials called for proactive action to ensure the full realization of the pledges, which include ending statelessness by 2030. And Sumane Sonyasi was at the event, and he now reports.
The Gambia is widely known for its hospitality, especially to refugees, which it has also demonstrated by ratifying the UN refugee instruments in 2003 and 2017 respectively at the UN Refugee Conventions. The Gambia Commission for Refugees, in partnership with the UNHCR, organized this convergence aimed at creating a platform for stakeholders, including policymakers and key partners such as UN agencies and law enforcement. Commissioner Ibrahim Mane of the Commission for Refugees and Ali Muhammad, head of the UNHCR in Dakar, commended government and the Commission for showing a strong commitment to addressing challenges refugees face, and went on to add that the ratification of instruments of the 2003 and 2017 UN Refugee Conventions indicates their determination as well as a positive response to ending statelessness.
Our nation has also taken significant steps in addressing these issues of statelessness, recognizing that the rights to nationality is a fundamental human right. Today's meeting is a critical step in our ongoing efforts to implement the pledges made by the Gambia at various international forums.
I encourage the government to continue this effort by providing ongoing and periodic training for eligibility officers, facilitating documentation to ensure legal protection for refugees in the Gambia.
While reaffirming their commitment, they also called on states to offer more support by acknowledging and protecting the rights of refugees, such as facilitating and ensuring a seamless naturalization process. Emmanuel Daniel Diouf, chairman of the NHRC, Aliou Jallo, curator of Interstates Estates at the Ministry of Justice, and Abraham K. Mendy, deputy permanent secretary at the Ministry of Interior, all joined calls for more support for refugees. They also encourage stakeholders to collaborate more in order to ensure the full realization of the national pledges.
The reality for many refugees and stateless persons remains ominous. They continue to face serious challenges and barriers that prevent them from enjoying the full range of human rights, leading to unending marginalization.
We are a country that is very accommodating to non-Gambians, especially the refugees. Accordingly, the government, of course, is motivated to make strides to promulgate laws that protect the rights of refugees.
Efforts are on the way to ensure that all services of immigration, the police, and the Ministry of Health, these servers communicate. The idea is we want every child that is born in the Gambia to have a unique number, and that is the number that you will take until the day that God calls you.
Meanwhile, DPS Mendy of the Ministry of Interior has announced a new set of pledges, including policy reform, which will include a review of the refugee laws and the implementation of a policy that will promote peaceful coexistence, access to essential services, promote integration, and livelihood-changing programs. Answane Sonyasi for KTV News.
Laudable initiative there. Now, in a joint operation, public health officers and security personnel inspected shops in Farafenni to seek those that were violating the display and sale of tobacco products. Our regional correspondent, Don Williams, witnessed the exercise, and this is his report.
In the Gambia, non-communicable diseases account for 34% of all deaths. Most mortalities occur from cardiovascular diseases, cancers, respiratory diseases, and diabetes. Some of these are smoking-related. Our Sanyang, Program Officer for Non-Communicable Disease Control Unit, explained the purpose of this exercise.
Our purpose this morning is for us to go out and see if shopkeepers are complying with this act. Because according to the act, tobacco should not be displayed at the point of sale. You hide the tobacco, and it should only be displayed, it should only be sold upon request. Only sell it to an individual that requests for it. And again, also that person have to be 18 years and above.
Kasim Jara, a student and resident of Mauritania, gave us his views.
I'm very delighted, to talk about this issue, which is the cigarette issue. It is a very it's a pleasure to talk about it, because if you see they bring this initiation is that so that young people do not have access to buy this cigarette, because the packet is very costly. So if they introduce by buying the packets, you see a lot of young people do not have access to the packets, depending from selling per stick.
Shop owners and cigarette sellers were once again reminded about the law. One had claimed he wasn't selling, and when a search was carried out, he was found with some open packets indicating the sale of single sticks of cigarettes, which is banned. He was then arrested, and all the cigarettes were collected, and he was taken to the Farafenni police station. Mamadou Ali Sow, a shopkeeper in K. Ali, explained reasons for not selling cigarettes.
I stopped selling cigarettes, and when people asked why I stopped, I tell them that I was selling because I had wanted to have some start-up capital for my business. But it was never my wish to sell it in the first place. Alhamdulillah, I stopped selling cigarettes.
Lamin Jobate, Principal Public Health Officer, at the end of the exercise, thanked the officers on behalf of the Regional Health Directorate, Abdullah Jaju.
So just to thank the team, this team, that is the police, the security, the customs. They are not presently here with us, but we will meet them at the POE, where they will join us for the exercise. The environment, which is also very important, who are also part of us in this particular exercise, as well as our gallant public officers who would be, leading the exercise, going into the shop, trying to talk to people who have defaulted in terms of what we want.
As rules governing those who sell tobacco products, smokers are also reminded that the law states that you must be 100 meters from non-smokers. Don Williams, QTV News, reporting from Farafenni.
Now, there has been major infrastructural development in Farafenni. However, as these developments are appreciated, residents are eager for more. Our regional correspondent, Don Williams, spoke to some residents of the town and filed this report.
Farafenni town is experiencing rapid infrastructural development in all spheres of the economy, such as the presence of various banks, including Ajib, which recently opened a branch here, schools, hospital, a market, community center, one-stop training center, and more. Due to the establishment of new settlements within and around its surroundings, the area's population has grown to 29,867, which has meant an increase in demand for various amenities and services to be provided by either local or central government intervention. We spoke to was Sirifo Sankare, a resident and president of the Farafenni Market Society.
The bridge has also helped us a lot, because you buy Farafenni something in Banjul, you go to Banjul, buy goods there. That very day, you get them here in Farafenni. Unlike before, it takes almost some days before you can get your goods here. But now, with the help of the good road and then the bridge, we easily find our goods in Farafenni without taking a lot of time. But as you said, also there are also challenges. There are so many challenges in terms of electricity, in terms of water supply. These are areas that we want the particular area that is Nawek to look into this very well.
One of the main challenges is the inadequate water supply. Here is Fatuja, a housewife living in Mauritania.
The heat is too much and it is affecting us. Also, we are faced with water shortages. If you are faced with extreme heat and there is water, you can take a bath or do other things. But for us, we don't have water and the heat is affecting us. People are tired. NAWEC should really come to our aid. Whenever there is water, I make the best use of the opportunity by fetching my big gallon cans and pans and filling them.
Uledem, another resident of Mauritania, explained how their struggles for water have worsened.
We walk for 2 kilometers to fetch water using gallon cans, and that is usually finished within 2 days, and the struggle continues. Even if you want to wash your clothes, you struggle to get water, and it can take days before we can get water to wash clothes. So we don't have enough to drink or for other domestic chores. We have children and they barely have water to drink.
Banks and other financial institutions is an added impetus to trade and commercial businesses and have created job opportunities in Farafenni. However, as we have heard from the residents, even as they appreciate the developments taking place in their town, they want these to continue and be improved upon. Don Williams, QTV News, Farafenni.
Well, the report there by Don Williams brings us to the end of this news bulletin. Do join us at 10 p.m. for another bulletin. Thanks for watching.